Listen closely. The world you live in is full of pretenders, weaklings who wear masks to hide their true faces. They lie, they cheat, they steal, all while pretending to be your friends. But let's set the record straight. There is no gray area here. There is only black and white. You're either fighting for something real or you're wasting your time, your energy, your life on these parasites who drain your soul. You think you know who your enemies are? Think again. You've been fooled by people who have been hiding in plain sight, and it's time you ripped the mask off. Cheaters, liars, criminals, friends, these are not just labels. They're the very essence of the battle you face every single day. And you've been wasting too much time on the wrong side of this war. You've been holding on to people who don't deserve your loyalty, your trust, or your effort. You've been manipulated by the very ones who see your potential as something to exploit. They are not your friends. They're enemies in disguise. You've been living in a lie, thinking that everyone who shows you a little kindness is in your corner, that everyone who tells you what you want to hear is on your side. Wake up. You're not in a safe world. You're in a battlefield, and you've been acting like a soldier with no armor. You've been trusting the wrong people, and now you're paying the price. Look at the cheaters, liars, and criminals around you. These aren't just the ones who break the law, they break your spirit too. They'll tell you anything, they'll promise you everything, but in the end all they offer is betrayal. That's the game they play. They don't care about you. They care about what they can get from you. And you're too soft to see it. Too trusting, too willing to believe in what they say. But here's the thing. You're not the victim. No. You're the one who's been complicit. You've allowed yourself to be deceived. You've let these people leech off your energy. And now you have to face the truth. You've been complicit in your own failure by staying around these fake friends, these wolves in sheep's clothing. You've been chasing after comfort while you should have been preparing for war. They don't care about your success, they care about your downfall. Every minute you spend with them, you're digging your own grave. Cheaters. They've already robbed you of your time. They've stolen your focus and turned it into a weapon against you. They know exactly what they're doing. They feed you false hope to control your every move. And you, like a fool, keep believing them. Liars. They've twisted your reality. They've blurred the line between what's true and what's convenient. They don't care about your trust, they care about their gain. You think you can trust them because they smile in your face. But that smile is just a mask hiding their true intent. Criminals. They've destroyed you from the inside out. They manipulate, use, and then discard you when you've outlived your usefulness. Now look at yourself. You're surrounded by these people, these frauds, these pretenders, and you still haven't realized that you've been playing the wrong game. You've been too focused on gaining their approval, trying to fit into their world, when you should have been forging your own path. Every time you let them get into your head, you lose a piece of yourself. Every time you trust the wrong person, you push yourself further away from your goals. This is not a game of second chances. This is a war, and you're in the thick of it whether you realize it or not. And the longer you stay comfortable in the lie, the deeper you sink into your own misery. It's time to stop pretending. It's time to take the mask off and face reality. These people, they're not friends. They're enemies in disguise. They don't care about you. And if you continue to treat them like they do, you'll never break free. You'll be stuck in their web of lies forever. and your potential will rot away before your very eyes. You think you can keep going like this? Think again. You're at a crossroads, and the next decision you make will either make or break you. Stay with the liars and cheats, and your dreams will stay buried. Cut them out, and you'll finally see what you're capable of. This is your wake-up call. The battle has already begun. You're either going to fight, or you're going to lose. There's no middle ground here. You can either burn the bridges with the people who are holding you back, or you can keep walking down the path of destruction they've set for you. The choice is yours, but understand this. If you keep going in the direction you're headed, you will be nothing but a shell of who you could have been. And that, my friend, will be the greatest tragedy of all. Now it's time to make your move. You either get up and fight, or you let the world take you down. The clock is ticking, and every second you waste, you get one step closer to your own demise. You've been given a weapon. It's time to use it. Fight back. You think you know the truth? You think you figured it out? No, you haven't. What you've been believing is nothing but a carefully constructed lie. A story that's been fed to you by the very people who want to keep you weak. You've been living your life based on a series of excuses and false promises that you've allowed to take root in your mind. Every time you look in the mirror, you see someone who's been tricked. Every time you make a decision, you're unknowingly walking down a path of self-deception. You believe that you can't do it because you don't have the right resources. You believe that you can't succeed because you weren't born with the right opportunities. You believe that the world owes you something, that somehow life is supposed to hand you the success you crave without you putting in the work. And that right there, that's the biggest lie you've ever told yourself. You've been fooled into thinking that the world is waiting for you to succeed, but it's not. The world doesn't give a damn about your excuses. It doesn't care about your background, your struggles, or your circumstances. The world will only hand you what you take from it, and that means you've got to fight for every inch. But instead, you've been sitting back, waiting for things to change, and they won't. Not until you decide to stop lying to yourself. This is where you've been going wrong. You've allowed these lies to fester inside you, and now they control everything you do. You've been waiting for the right moment to start, the right sign, the right person to come along and give you permission. Let me tell you this right now. There will never be a perfect moment. There will never be a moment when all the stars align. You've been waiting for an opportunity to knock, but opportunities don't knock. They don't even exist in the way you think. Opportunities are made. They're forged in the fires of persistence, discipline, and action. You don't sit around waiting for them to come to you. You go out and you take them. What you've been telling yourself? That it's not the right time, that you're not prepared enough, that you're too old, too young, too inexperienced. That's a bunch of crap. You're not fooling anyone, least of all yourself. Every time you make an excuse, you bury your future a little deeper. The lies you've been telling yourself are chains holding you back from the life you deserve. But the moment you stop buying into those lies is the moment you start to break free. You've convinced yourself that you need more time, more money, more skills, more of everything before you can take that first step. You've been waiting for the right conditions, like some coward waiting for a battlefield to calm down before charging in. What you don't get is that the battlefield will never be calm. It never has been. It never will be. So what are you going to do? Sit around, waiting for conditions that will never exist? Or are you going to stand up, charge forward, and create the conditions you need? You've been telling yourself that you're not ready, and in doing so, you've been holding your dreams hostage. It's all a lie, and you've been buying it. Hook, line, and sinker. You think you're stuck in the position you're in because life handed you a raw deal? Wrong. You're stuck because you've allowed your circumstances to define you. You've chosen to live within the limits of your comfort zone. You've told yourself that where you are is where you have to stay, but that's the illusion. The truth is, you've been too afraid to take risks, too scared to fail, and too unwilling to embrace the pain of growth. You've been living in the lie that failure is something to avoid. You're so caught up in what people will think, how you'll look when you fall, that you haven't realized that failure is the only thing that can teach you what success truly is. Here's a fact. Nobody who has ever done anything worth anything hasn't failed. It's not a mistake. It's a necessary part of the journey. But you've been living in the lie that failure equals defeat. You've been avoiding it like it's a plague, and in doing so, you've been stalling your own growth. You're so damn comfortable with your excuses that you're paralyzed by the very thought of stepping out of the bubble you've created for yourself. You want results without putting in the sweat, the sacrifice, the pain. You want to be seen as successful without the struggle. But there's no such thing. That's the lie they want you to believe. That it's easy. That success should come without sacrifice. That the world will bend for you if you just wait long enough. That you don't need to fight for your dreams because everything will just work out. That's how they've kept you complacent. That's how they've kept you from taking the action you need to change your life. The truth. Success comes from relentless action, from burning the excuses, from facing failure head-on and using it as fuel to go even harder. There is no shortcut, no magic formula, no special pass. It's about getting your hands dirty, getting knocked down, and getting back up. The lies you've been told are designed to keep you weak, to keep you stuck, and to keep you from realizing the power you hold within you. Look at your life right now. Look at where you are. You're not here because of what life gave you. You're here because of the choices you've made. You've made the choice to stay comfortable. You've made the choice to buy into the lie that life is unfair, that you're somehow exempt from the battle. But here's the thing you need to understand. The battle is not only inevitable, it's necessary. You will never become the person you're meant to be unless you face the war head on. So stop with the excuses. Stop telling yourself that you're too young, too old, too broke, too inexperienced. Stop believing that things will change if you wait around long enough. It won't. Life won't just hand you success, you have to take it, rip it from the world's hands, and when you fail, fail forward, fail fast, but never stop. Never let that lie creep back into your mind, because if you do, you're already lost. This is your reality check. It's time to face the truth. The lies you've been telling yourself, they've been keeping you from what you could be. It's time to break the chains. It's time to stop pretending. You don't need more time. You don't need more money. You don't need more opportunities. What you need is the courage to face the truth and the strength to act on it. That's the only thing standing between you and your success. Now stop lying to yourself. Stop waiting for conditions to change. It's time to make them change. Let me break it down for you right now. No sugarcoating, no trying to make you feel good about yourself. You've been living in a world of fantasies, a world where you've convinced yourself that things will get better with time. But here's the hard truth. Time is not your ally. Time doesn't care about your dreams, your goals, or your excuses. Time will keep ticking, and it will pass you by while you sit there waiting for something to change. You think that one day somehow things will fall into place. That's the biggest delusion you've been holding on to. The only thing that will fall into place is the destruction of everything you could have been. You're wasting your time, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's okay. The raw truth is this: you are not a victim of circumstance. You are not here because life dealt you a bad hand. You are here because you allowed yourself to stay here. The choices you've made, the mindset you've adopted, and the actions or lack thereof that you've taken have led you to this very moment. You have no one else to blame. The only thing that's standing between you and success is the truth you're avoiding. You're not as trapped as you think. You're trapped because you've convinced yourself that there's no way out. But that's a lie. There's always a way out. But the way out requires something you don't want to admit. You need to change. Not just a little bit. You need to change everything. You are not a victim. You are a product of your own choices. You've been telling yourself that you can't succeed because the odds are stacked against you. You've been listening to the whispers of self-doubt, and you've been letting fear dictate your every move. Fear of failing, fear of looking foolish, fear of rejection. But let me tell you something about fear. It's the greatest liar you'll ever encounter. Fear will keep you stuck. Fear will tell you that you're not good enough. Fear will convince you that the pain of trying is worse than the pain of staying where you are. But here's the thing. That pain of staying where you are will eat you alive. It's already eating you alive, but you're too numb to notice. It's easy to convince yourself that you're doing okay. You've settled into your comfort zone. You've convinced yourself that it's enough. But deep down, you know it's not. You know that you've let your potential die a slow death every single day you spend avoiding the truth. The truth is that you don't want to be uncomfortable. You don't want to risk failing. You don't want to put in the effort because that means you'll have to face the fact that you might not succeed immediately, and that terrifies you. But let me make something crystal clear. Success doesn't care about your comfort. The truth is that you're not as helpless as you think. You are capable of much more than you give yourself credit for. The lies you've been telling yourself, the excuses you've been clinging to, have nothing to do with your lack of ability. They have everything to do with your fear of pushing yourself past the limits you've set for yourself. You've created a box around your life, a box where failure doesn't exist. But guess what? Outside that box is where all the magic happens. Outside that box is where success is forged in the flames of relentless effort. You've been living in the lie that you don't have the power to change your situation. That's a lie designed to keep you weak, complacent, and stuck. You've convinced yourself that success is reserved for other people. People who are smarter, richer, or luckier than you. But that's just another story you've been sold. You have everything you need right now to make the change you've been avoiding. The truth is, you don't need any more resources. You don't need anyone else's permission. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. You need action. You need to stop thinking that one day you'll be ready. The time to start isn't now. But you're scared. You're scared that you'll fail. You're scared that you'll put in all this work and still not make it. Here's something you need to understand. Failure is not the enemy. Failure is the teacher. Failure is the only way you'll learn what works and what doesn't. You can sit back and avoid failure all you want, but in doing so, you're avoiding growth. You're avoiding the very thing that will propel you forward. Every time you take a step, every time you risk failing, you learn. And each failure brings you closer to the success you're chasing. But you're too scared to even try. You're too scared to fail. So you sit in your comfort zone, doing nothing, waiting for success to come to you. And that's the real joke. Success is not going to come knocking at your door. It's not going to find you curled up in your bed waiting for things to get better. You have to go out and grab it. You have to take what's yours. But you're too comfortable, too afraid, and too weak to go after it. And that's the raw truth of it. You've allowed yourself to become weak. You've allowed yourself to be beaten down by fear, by doubt, and by all the excuses you've made over the years. But the truth doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your fear. The truth is this: you will never become what you're capable of being unless you face your fears head on and take action anyway. The only thing standing between you and your goals is the fear that you've allowed to control your life. And guess what? Fear is not real. It's a product of your mind. It's something you created, and you can destroy it with action. Now, I want you to think about this for a second. What are you really afraid of? Are you afraid of failing? Of being judged? Of looking foolish? Well, guess what? Everyone fails. Everyone looks foolish at some point. And anyone who's ever achieved anything worthwhile has been judged, so why do you care? Why let something as trivial as fear keep you from what you could be? Why let a made-up story hold you back from achieving your greatest potential? The raw truth is this: you're afraid of stepping into your own power. You're afraid of what could happen if you actually took control of your life. You're afraid of how much you could accomplish if you actually stopped making excuses. And that fear is the only thing standing in your way. So here's the deal. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Stop waiting for things to get better. They won't unless you make them better. Stop waiting for someone else to save you. No one's coming. You have to save yourself. The raw truth is that you're the only one who has the power to change your life. It's all in your hands, but you have to take the first step. And that step is going to hurt. It's going to challenge everything you've ever believed. It's going to make you uncomfortable. But it's the only step that matters. So get up. Stop waiting. Stop making excuses. The truth is, the only thing holding you back is you. And if you don't make a move right now, you'll be stuck in this cycle forever. Choose to break free. Choose to face the truth. Choose to take action. Because that's the only way you'll ever become who you're meant to be. Let me make something abundantly clear. The consequence of weakness is death. Not a literal death, but a death of your soul, of your purpose, of everything. You could have been, and right now you're standing at the edge, teetering between life and that death. Every moment you let pass without taking action, without making a change, you're digging your own grave. It's not some distant future that awaits you. Their consequences are here, and they're eating away at you right now. You think that if you stay where you are, the pain will stop, that you'll somehow be left alone, untouched. But no, the real pain, the real torment, comes from staying stagnant. It comes from living a life of mediocrity, where you're too afraid to fight, too weak to stand up, and too complacent to break free. Understand this: Weakness isn't just an inconvenience, it's a life sentence. It's a death sentence to the dreams you claim to want. It's a guarantee that you'll wake up one day and realize it's too late. You'll look around and see the world passing you by, the opportunities you missed and the life you should have had slipping through your fingers like sand. That is the consequence of weakness. You are building your own future right now. And if that future is filled with regret, self-doubt, and what-ifs, that's because of the choices you've made today. That's because you've chosen to be weak. You've chosen to do nothing when you could be doing everything, so ask yourself, what are you really afraid of? Fear of failure? You think that failing will ruin you, but failure isn't what kills you. It's the fear of failure that kills you. It's the fear of putting in the work only to fall short. It's the fear of getting out of your comfort zone, of being uncomfortable, of breaking down the walls you've built around yourself. And every single day that you choose to stay where you are, you're feeding that fear. You're feeding your weakness. You're giving it more power over you. And you know what happens when you give weakness power? It consumes you. It doesn't let you go. It makes sure that every single day feels like a battle you're losing. The consequence of weakness is that it doesn't just affect you, it affects everyone around you. You may think that by staying where you are, you're avoiding the pain of failure, but in reality, you're dragging everyone you care about down with you. Your family, your friends, your potential allies. Everyone who could have benefited from your success is being held back because of your refusal to stand up. You are the anchor to your own ship, and by staying in your weakness, you're sinking everything that matters. If you think you're doing okay by coasting through life, think again. Every moment you waste is a moment you'll never get back. Every second you hold back is one less second you have to make a difference to take charge and to build something that matters. And here's the kicker. The world does not care about your excuses. The world doesn't care that you've had setbacks, that you've been hurt, or that things haven't gone your way. The world doesn't care if you're tired or burned out. The world doesn't wait for you to feel ready. The world moves. It marches forward, and if you're not moving with it, it leaves you behind. The consequence of weakness is that the world will simply pass you by, and you'll be left in the dust wondering where everything went wrong. You'll see others achieve their goals, create their dreams, and step into their power, while you stand there paralyzed by fear and inaction. That's the ultimate consequence. You will be nothing. You'll be invisible. Now think about this. How many times have you said, "I'll start tomorrow"? How many times have you promised yourself that you'll get your act together, that you'll stop procrastinating, that you'll finally make the changes you need? Every time you say that, you're feeding your weakness. Every time you give yourself another excuse, you're solidifying your fate. You've been telling yourself that tomorrow is the day when everything changes. But here's the truth. Tomorrow never comes. It's a lie. The only time that exists is right now. And the longer you keep postponing your growth, the more you're setting yourself up for a life of regret. When tomorrow never comes, you'll look back at today, at all the opportunities you let slip away, and you'll realize you've wasted your life waiting for the right moment that never arrived. The consequence of weakness isn't just inaction, it's self-destruction. It's the slow burn of watching yourself slip into mediocrity, into a life where you know you're capable of more but don't have the courage to do anything about it. You'll become someone you don't even recognize. You'll look at yourself in the mirror and see a stranger, a person who settled, who gave in, and who let fear take control. Is that who you want to be? A weak version of yourself who never showed the world what you're really made of? No, that is not the legacy you were meant to leave. That is not the impact you were meant to make. The truth is that you will never escape the consequences of weakness unless you act. Action is the only antidote to weakness. Every time you hesitate, every time you let fear control you, you strengthen the chains that bind you. You'll stay stuck, stagnant, and frustrated. But if you take action, if you push through the discomfort, if you break the chains of your own making, you'll experience freedom. Freedom from fear, from self-doubt, from the weight of your own weakness. And don't fool yourself into thinking that you can wait for things to change. Change only happens when you make it happen. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and suddenly be better. You're not going to magically find the motivation to take action. Motivation is a lie. Discipline is the key. You want to know the real secret to success? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's discipline. The discipline to get up day after day and do the work even when you don't feel like it. The discipline to fight through the pain, through the doubt, through the fear. The discipline to keep going even when it feels like the whole world is against you. So here's the brutal truth. If you don't change, nothing will change. The consequences of staying weak will keep piling up, and one day you'll realize that it's too late to fix it. Don't let that be. You don't let yourself be the one who wakes up, looks back at a life wasted and wonders where it all went wrong. The time is now. The choice is yours. Do you continue to let weakness control you? Or do you stand up and fight for the life you were meant to live? The clock is ticking. The consequences of your weakness are waiting. Make your move before they consume you. It's time to step the hell up. No more whining, no more excuses. You're done with weakness. You're done with letting fear hold you back. This is the moment. This is your rise. It's not just a shift in mindset, it's a transformation. This is where you break free from the lies, from the chains that have held you prisoner for so long. This is the moment where everything changes, if you're ready for it. You were born for something greater than mediocrity. You were built to overcome. You weren't made to sit idly by and watch others chase their dreams while you rot in your comfort zone. No. You were born to fight. You were forged in the fire, tested in the heat. And now it's time to unleash the beast that's been dormant inside you. That quiet voice of doubt, that hesitation. You need to kill it. It's time to step into your power, to claim your place in this world. The rise is not gentle. It's not going to be comfortable. If you're looking for comfort, stop reading. You're wasting your time. But if you're ready for war, if you're ready to tear down every wall that stood in your way, if you're ready to go to battle for your future, then listen closely. The rise isn't for the faint of heart. It's for the warriors. It's for those who are sick of living in the shadows. For those who are done settling for less. This is the path for those who are willing to do whatever it takes, no matter the cost. What separates the weak from the strong is action. It's not thoughts. It's not dreams. It's not promises to yourself that you'll try harder tomorrow. It's what you do. Your actions will dictate your future. and it's time to take ruthless action. You've been playing small for too long. You've been listening to the voices that tell you to take it easy, that say you don't need to push this hard. Well, I'm here to tell you that those voices are lying. Those voices are the chains that keep you stuck in the hell of your own making. The reality is, you cannot wait for things to be perfect. You cannot wait for the stars to align, for the right moment to come. That moment will never come. If you're waiting for the perfect conditions, you'll be waiting forever. You need to get moving now. This is war. In war, you don't wait for the perfect plan. You make it happen. You adapt. You survive. You fight. It's time to start fighting. The rise begins with a decision. The decision to no longer accept the status quo, to no longer accept mediocrity. You have to decide that you're going to win. The world is full of people who sit around and wait for success to fall into their laps. That's not you. You're going to go out and seize it. You're going to claw your way to the top, no matter who or what tries to stop you. It won't be easy. If you think it will be, you're fooling yourself. The path to greatness is paved with sweat, blood, and sacrifice. You'll bleed, you'll burn out, you'll feel like giving up, but you will not give up. You will rise. The true test is whether or not you're willing to endure. Are you willing to fight through the pain? Are you willing to sacrifice your comfort, your old habits, your weaknesses, to become the person you were meant to be? This is your battle, and you're the only one who can win it. You are the enemy of your own success. It's not the world that's holding you back, it's you. You've been the one holding yourself down, letting fear rule your life, letting laziness win. You've been making excuses, but now you have to face the truth. There is no one to blame but you. You've been stuck in your own self-imposed prison, and it's time to break out. It's time to tear down the walls. The only thing standing between you and your success is your own weakness, your own inability to act, your own fear. But here's the good news. You can change it. You can rewrite your story. You can become the version of yourself that you know you can be. You have the power to turn it all around, but you have to make a choice. You have to decide that the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. You have to decide that the fear of the unknown is less terrifying than the certainty of living a life of regret. The rise is about doing things that hurt, doing things that are hard, doing things that scare you. It's about attacking your weaknesses head on, without hesitation. You don't have time to waste. Every second you spend waiting is a second you'll never get back. Every minute you spend sitting on your hands letting fear dictate your life is a minute you're wasting. The time is now. The rise begins today. This isn't just about motivation, it's about transformation. Motivation is a fleeting thing. It comes and goes. You'll feel motivated one minute and tired the next. But discipline? Discipline is what will carry you through the darkest times. Discipline is the ability to keep moving forward even when you feel like quitting. Discipline is what will separate you from everyone else. What will push you to keep going when the world tells you to stop. The rise isn't for the undisciplined. It's for those who are willing to show up day in and day out no matter how hard it gets. It's for those who are willing to put in the work even when no one's watching. It's for those who are willing to make sacrifices, knowing that the reward on the other side will be worth it. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the creator of your own fate. You decide what happens next. So what's it going to be? Are you going to stay weak, stay stuck, Stay miserable? Or are you going to rise, break free, and claim the life you deserve? The time for excuses is over. The time for pity is over. The time for change is now. Get up, face the battle, and take what's yours. The world isn't going to hand you anything, but if you rise, if you fight, if you make it through the grind and the pain, then you'll earn everything you've ever wanted. The only thing standing between you and success is you. So get out of your own damn way. It's time to rise. Get to work. You've come this far. But this is the moment that will define everything. You've been tested, broken, rebuilt, and now you stand at the precipice of greatness. So, what are you going to do about it? You've faced the truth. You've seen your weaknesses, your excuses, and your failures laid bare. You've fought the mental battle, confronted the demons in your mind, and destroyed the lies that held you captive. Now there's no more time for hesitation, no more room for doubt. This is war. It's the final showdown, the ultimate test. The question is, are you ready to claim what's yours? This isn't some fairy tale. There's no magic fairy dust to sprinkle on your life and make everything perfect. There's no fairy godmother waiting in the wings to wave a wand and fix everything for you. You have to do it. The work, the pain, the sacrifice, they all fall on your shoulders. But that's exactly why you're here. Because deep down, you know that you are the one who will win this battle. You're the one who will come out on top, but you have to commit to it. Every step you take from here on out is a decision. Every action is a declaration. And if you decide to shrink back into your old self, if you decide to ignore the call, to slip back into the comfort of your excuses, then let me tell you exactly what happens next. You lose. You lose everything. You lose the chance to live your life on your terms. You lose the chance to prove to yourself that you're more than just talk, more than just empty promises. You lose the chance to experience the freedom that comes from achieving something that no one thought you could. You lose and you stay in the gutter, stuck in your own mediocrity. But if you rise, if you choose to stand, to fight, to take the actions necessary to make this happen, then there's no telling what you'll become. No limit on your potential. No boundary on what you can achieve. This is where the weak fall behind and the strong ascend. It's where the talkers get drowned out by the doers. And you're about to become one of the doers. There is no easy way out. There is no shortcut. There is only the path of pain, struggle, and relentless action. But it's a path worth walking, because at the end, there's freedom. There's power. There's a life built on the foundation of your own decisions, your own actions, your own effort. The only thing standing between you and that life is fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of what others might think. But guess what? That fear is nothing more than a shadow. A lie designed to keep you in the cage of complacency. It has no real power over you. So what's it going to be? Are you going to rise? Or are you going to remain in the pit? The clock is ticking and the world doesn't wait for anyone. It's time to make the decision, to take action. No more excuses, no more waiting, no more hoping that someone else will fix your life for you. You are your own hero, and heroes don't wait for the world to change for them. They make the world change with their actions. They forge their destiny with their own two hands. You've learned what you're up against. You know the stakes. You know the consequences of inaction. Now it's time to act. The truth is simple. Nothing happens until you decide. Nothing changes until you choose to act. The excuses you've held on to for so long, they're not real. The stories you've told yourself about why you can't succeed, they're lies. You've seen the truth now. The only thing that can stop you is your own refusal to act. You've been given the tools. Now use them. There's no more waiting. No more holding back. Move. Move forward. Move fast. And move with purpose. The rise is waiting for you, but it's only yours if you take it. Now get to work. Command your future.